Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls Lounge podcast with your host, Liz and KT. And before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure you are following us so you can get notified or up to date every time we post a new episode every Wednesday. But today's episode is going to be more of a chattier one. We're basically just going to be talking about what's next, whatever that means. But before that, we're going to get into our typical segments and we're going to talk about what we've been up to.
Yes, you guys, it is official. I got my wings. I have graduated from flight attendant training and I'm officially a flight attendant now. That's really crazy to think about. But yeah, I finally graduated. I had my little mini graduation, got my wings, got pinned, and that's so exciting. But I was able to go home for a couple days, literally just like 3-4 days, I think. So I literally went home, I unpacked everything and I repacked everything, and now I am currently in Chicago. It is my second day when we're recording this that I am in Chicago, my first full day here. And I think it hasn't hit me yet that this is my real life now, but yeah, I've just been chilling, getting used to the new place and everything. Me and my friend Jill, because I'm staying at her apartment, we deep clean, we rearranged things. We got me a little room in the corner, but yeah, I'm officially in Chicago now and I have my wings. But that's my big life update for you guys.
Everyone comment down below. Congrats, Liz, on getting your wings. But for me, it's been pretty chill. I feel like it has been a week and 2 days since I graduated. So I feel like just now, over the past couple of days, I've come down from that graduation high. I feel like I see a lot of posts about people struggling post-grad. They're like, oh, I'm so bored. But I put myself on, kind of a strict schedule or things to do every day. So I never found myself really getting bored. I mostly have just spent my days applying to jobs or just working on other, personal side projects. And yeah, the unemployment era is something else. They were not joking when they said the job market is trash, but we'll get more into that later. But you know what? I'm just happy to be alive. I'm just happy to have my 2 degrees, yada, yada, yada. And when I'm not applying to jobs, because I know people are like, you should treat applying to jobs like a full-time, or they say you should treat applying to jobs as if it's a full-time job, but I feel like you need to take a break from that because it can get very overwhelming and you can get into your head. So I've really been trying to tap into my creative side with it, whatever that is. I swear in this past week I've done everything that I've always been honing up on. As you guys know, I've started writing on Substack, so I've been doing that. I journaled. You guys, when is the last time I have journaled? Actually, no, it was February. So I pulled out the journal. I've been reading and just a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm like, wow, look at me go. So that's what I've been up to.
No, because Kennedy, I feel like you bring up a really good point about how we just gotta slow down and breathe and just remember the accomplishments that we have, because I feel like this day and age everything's go it literally feels like a checklist. You're checking things off and it's on, immediately check it off and on to the next. But I feel like you have to take a moment and just take a deep breath, appreciate that you're literally checking a milestone off of your list before you immediately rush into the new thing. So I feel like it's completely normal and it should be normalized more, especially after graduating from grad school or college or any type of big graduation like that, of just taking a moment, it's okay. You don't have to have everything figured out for the next step and everything. Society needs to get on that
part. And now we're going to get into our faves of the week. And mine is Substack articles, of course. I don't know. I just have really been loving the app recently. There's just been so many good things that I've been reading. I'll tell you guys a couple of things that I have saved to read. If you are what is there on Substack? Could anything be of interest to me? But here's some ones that I have saved that I really want to read. The neuroscience behind women's intuition, how to become friends with literally anyone, and what ambitious girls should look for in a partner. So that's the type of vibe that I'm on Substack. Just truly, bettering my brain, I guess.
And then my favorite of the week, I have 2, but one of them I'll talk about in the What We're Watching segment, which I know Kennedy also will be yapping about this one. But my other favorite of the week is my laptop, you guys. I truly use it every single day. It's my everything. It's where I do podcast things like Canva editing. It's where I get on just like watch YouTube, watch Netflix, like watch anything. I do it on my laptop. I even be like typing on my laptop, like texting people back if I'm on it. It's just so convenient and it's so like portable that I can take it everywhere. Literally on my flight back home, I was editing the podcast on the plane on my laptop. So like it truly goes with me everywhere I go. And especially right now with like all the TV shows are like all the platforms are dropping new TV shows and everything. It's just something so comfortable about laying in bed on my side and I can just like turn my laptop to the side and it's perfect, you guys. So that is my favorite of the week.
Yes, I swear, once you get a laptop, you're like, how have I gone this long without one? But now we're gonna get into pop culture. And this week's pop culture is only one segment or one topic because there is a lot that goes within this one topic, and that is the Mikayla versus Taylor Frankie Paul like showdown. And we're gonna give you guys a whole breakdown, and you guys want to buckle up because it's a lot. So this is low-key a saga that I feel like is kind of still going on like till this day, which is insane. But this first post comes from May 9th. Oh, and we're getting like this information from the Mormon Wives Report on Instagram, but like me and Liz saw this happening in like real time. So Mikayla posted on Instagram because, as we know, there's been a lot of things going on with Taylor and Dakota. We've talked about it before on the podcast, and a lot of people have come for the other girls for like not sticking up for her or really saying anything at all. And so Mikayla recently has had this skin journey with like finally getting her diagnosis and moving to Hawaii for a bit. And I think people were coming at her and being like, why do you think we care about this? Or why do you want people to have sympathy for this if you can't have sympathy for Taylor? So this is what Mikayla put, and it's really long, so hopefully I don't mess up. But Mikayla said, if I was knowingly giving myself rashes, I wouldn't be expecting sympathy from anyone online or privately. Imagine someone told me, hey, we know for 100% certainty that if you stop using this cream, your rashes would go away. Then imagine I continued using that cream while still asking people for sympathy and help. At some point, my friends would probably say, we feel sorry for you and stop using the cream so you can heal. And if I continued to use it over and over again for years, knowing the outcome every single time was the same, it would eventually get to a point where the people who genuinely care about me would no longer enable me by continuing to give sympathy and support to behavior that is clearly keeping me stuck in an unhealthy cycle. I absolutely agree that compassion should be felt for the people involved and for the situation itself. And believe me, I have felt absolutely sick to my stomach and horrible for what everyone involved must be feeling and going through. However, it is not my job to enable poor or dangerous behavior from either party, especially when children are involved. That doesn't mean I don't love them or want the best for their individual futures. It just means I cannot sit here and pretend it's okay that years of destructive behavior are now being discussed more than ever online and turned into a pick-a-side game, when the only correct side anyone should truly be on in all of this is the children's side. Setting boundaries in the situation is not only healthy, but incredibly necessary for every single one of the girls on our show and for their mental well-being, whether they choose to set those boundaries or not. I was there after the swinging rock bottom. I was there after the arrest rock bottom. I was there for the Jenna rock bottom, the Shania rock bottom, the mom's best friend rock bottom. Without even having to be asked, I sent cookies, drinks, meals, etc. and showed up even at my personal lowest while navigating my own trauma, betrayal, and health issues. Every single time, the behaviors and patterns continued and were publicly praised for being messy and relatable. Continuing to show up and give sympathy to someone who has mentioned time and time again that they can't be a friend right now, while also acknowledging they are self-aware of the decisions being made and still expecting loyalty online despite evidence of violent behavior and poor decisions, would not only be a disservice to my healing, but to the other people involved as well. You cannot save someone who is unwilling to participate in their own rescue. In my opinion, anyone being on anyone's team publicly right now has their own selfish, personal reasons, mainly to avoid backlash from fans. Having a moral compass and boundaries doesn't make you a bad or jealous friend. And me personally, Mikayla ate that up. She stood on business. And I know a lot of people have thoughts about, comparing domestic violence and like abuse to cream, which, okay, I understand that, but I feel like her whole point of it though is still valid.
Yes, I think that she stood on business. Especially what stuck out to me was when she pointed out like the specific rock bottom parts. Because if you guys are like a watcher of The Secret Life of Mormon Wives or just know anything about them, you know that like if anyone has hit rock bottom every single time, it is truly Taylor. And it's like in different situations and scenarios and everything. And at the point is like at the root of this, at every single rock bottom, her friends have stood by her. But I think that there's a point with like any friendship, you know, like friendships where like your friend is dating someone that you don't think is good for them. Like there's a point where like you can't do anything more for them and they have to like see it for themselves. And it's kind of just like, honestly, at some point, you can't support this anymore and be around this person because they're just not listening, they're not understanding. And you know, she ate up Taylor with it because while like I do think in some things Taylor is the victim and everything. There's some points where she's made herself the victim and like fed into it even more. So like it's kind of like you reap what you sow at some point. And I don't know, I feel like it's also like with the cream and the rash stuff and like the skincare stuff, like everybody has their things that they're going through, and you can't compare like someone saying like, oh, like but you didn't go through this, you know, like you're not valid for that. You can't invalidate what someone's going through. And I feel like low key sometimes Taylor, she do be giving that. So I feel like someone had to like say the truth.
And I feel like Taylor, she just is 100% always the victim when, I mean, Mikayla is pointing out that like there are probably so many times where it's like all these rock bottoms and you still haven't made kind of like the conscious decision like, okay, maybe me and Dakota should not be in contact, maybe me and Dakota should not do this. You have all these opportunities but yet you self-sabotage all for this man. And I like, for me and Liz as viewers, it's exhausting watching this play out. So I can't even imagine watching this play out for people who are actually involved. And Taylor did respond to that, of course, because she's just always on social media. But she said she's the epitome of someone that was waiting for my downfall and not only watched it, but clearly kicking me too. I rarely, if ever, cried for her to help. They always wanted an update on my life. Let's not get that twisted. She's exhausted of me as I tried to stay home and suffer in silence, just like I was completely currently and still just as I was doing currently and still coming at me comparing rashes and cream to my situation. I'm fed up, but I knew she was going through her own stuff and I didn't want to make it worse. Clearly, she can't do the same. P.S. She can find her way to the door if she doesn't want to film with me next.
And again on this, Taylor just like, I don't know, I feel like it's exactly what me and Kenny just said about her invalidating what other people have been through and what they're going through because it doesn't equate to like domestic violence or something, you know? And I feel like that is not fair. Like, yes, something is it's like apparently more serious, but you can't invalidate someone because they're going through their own thing too, you know? And like, again, I feel like there's a point where Taylor just makes it worse for herself and it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. And this is, again, just an example of her little like comeback. It did not turn out the way that she wanted, which I'm like, again, I just feel like all these influencers and celebrities, like, do they not have a PR person? Like, I feel like they obviously don't. And if they do, like, what are they doing? I don't know. Like, that truly just baffles me every single time in situations like this.
Yes, and I think her response just showed, I mean, Mikayla's point. I mean, she's very childish. And also to mention, like, after this stuff, Taylor was like reposting stuff and kind of like egging on for Mikayla to get more hate. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just like all very childish. And again, just shows where Taylor's at. She can't take any accountability. And this like happened all like the day before Mother's Day or like 2 days before Mother's Day or something. And Taylor took Mother's Day to be like, well, I'm gonna say what I want to say and I'm gonna basically use this day as an excuse to be nasty and for no one to hold like her accountable, I would say. It is a very long post and like Taylor and Mikayla have still like kind of been going back and forth and even Macy has stepped in, but this will be like the last thing we read just so like you guys can understand the vibe of like this whole situation.
So on Mother's Day, keep in mind, I want to emphasize this was posted on Mother's Day and this is the caption to the post. Like it wasn't a story or anything. And in the post, it's like, Mother's Day photos like her with her kids, but then this is the caption to it. Just want to like preface that because I feel like this context is important for everybody's reaction to it. So Taylor comments on her Mother's Day post. She says, "It's Mother's Day, so I'll say whatever I want. As if it's not already the worst time, I have still have friends kicking me while I'm already been down and calling it setting a boundary, and then blames me for being upset and responding. That's called shaming and attack while I had a moment to breathe, and she knew that. Not once have I called myself a victim, but I'm human and have breaking points. What a snake friend just did to me in the public eye after everything she just witnessed, the lack of empathy and silence was loud enough. Did you see the hearing? Did you see the bruises? Yet she's bringing up picking sides. Yes, usually you do for friends, go through that. Have you been hurt while pregnant? Have you been beaten right after giving birth? Have you two lost babies due to who knows what? Have you gone to jail for finally breaking and taking the blame for years? Have you been in trouble for getting ready to feel pretty 2 months postpartum that you cry off your makeup and return to an ugly t-shirt? Can you even understand what I'm saying from just a psychological point? No, clearly not. If it's being used as an analogy to rash cream, you heard one side and never called me after. In fact, ignored me twice. That is what an enemy is. Your trauma doesn't give you a pass to kick me while down and cover it with a boundary months later after the fact. She is right to state her boundary, sure, but go ahead, tell him the truth. Who was your last convo with regarding the situation? Not me. What other questions did you have and concerns while filming with me? Does she get paid more than us? Save the Concern for Children Act. They all know I'm a good to my children. I've missed more events, girls' nights, and opportunities to stay home with my kids more than some of them could ever say. Happy mother to all the moms out there. Of course, I'm spiraling. People calling me out, yet I can't respond. Exactly what I will not be tolerating ever again. Thank you, God, for the people who you sent to help me through this with my enemies so close." As we can tell just by her grammar and everything, I think Taylor was truly going through it. And the fact that it was Mother's Day and this post, like the photos are of her being a mom, but the caption truly has like nothing to do with her being a mom on Mother's Day. I don't know. I feel like Taylor, time and time again, since like the swinging scandal, she just takes things to the internet, doesn't think about it, she just reacts, and then she gets into these situations. Like at some point, and I think this is the point, you can't make excuses for her anymore, in my opinion.
I agree, especially on like she's just a very reactionary person, and it's like I hate when like people when they're kind of like being called out, it's like they're picking out like specific issues. Like I didn't like how she was like, "Did you watch this? Did you watch this?" Like I feel like she thinks Mikayla is talking about like one specific event, but really it's like accumulation of everything and just like the constant bad decisions and like all these things that probably could have be prevented. And I mean, Mikayla and everyone else has probably been with you at your rock bottom where it's like, just leave, just do this, this, and this. Like your life is just gonna get worse. And it's at the point where it's worse. And I don't know, she's just like, again, not taking accountability, being the victim. And yeah, I just don't like how she continued like, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way that a day that should be about her and uplifting other women, she's using it to tear down another woman and like kind of, what's the word? Kind of like help spread the hate towards other women and just, I don't know, use her platform for wrong. And it's like, it's so clear that she should not be on social media at this point. And then like she keeps just like posting stuff about like her crying and just, I mean, they just kept going back and forth. I know someone tried to make a diss about Jace. They ended up unfollowing each other. I know Taylor was threatening to go live. So as you can just see, it's just like the constant just attack. Like she wants to kick someone to get to a low point like she is to make herself feel better is what I'm getting from all of it, honestly.
And I truly like what baffles me even more is the fact that they're moms. These are full grown moms taking it out on the internet. And while like in this situation, honestly, like I am team Mikayla. Even Mikayla, like at some point you got to stop. And I mean, she did stop like commenting and responding and stuff like that. And now I'm pretty sure it's just been Taylor like posting on her stories and like she keeps on like doing stuff here and there. But I'm like, do you guys like, I don't know, like do they not have conversations? Like I don't know. And it truly, I think it shows Taylor needs some real help. And I know that she has gotten better and everything, but I truly think she just needs a social media hiatus for a couple years, honestly. She needs to take a step back because it's just like there's a point, and I think she's beyond that breaking point right now. And it just truly is crazy to me, the comparisons between everything. Yeah, I am very intrigued about this upcoming season of Secret Life of Mormon Wives, because I'm pretty sure they are back to filming, question mark, because they took that little pause break when everything broke out with Taylor and Dakota, but I'm pretty sure that they're back to filming. So I'm very, very curious how all of that is playing out, or how it's going to be. And I truly do think that this like upcoming season might be the last season, just because with everybody being in different places. For those of you guys who don't know, Mikayla like moved to Hawaii right now. Like everybody's in different places, and I feel like mom talk isn't really like a thing no more. That's just my view.
Yeah, and Whitney left the show. She actually announced that she's making her own production company. So I'm like, surely we get a reality TV show about Whitney and what she's doing. But yeah, on the Instagram, they did say they resumed filming. But my one last note is like, I feel like it says a lot that it seems like it's kind of like Jesse and Taylor kind of being their own group. Like they're supporting each other while everyone else is like, no, we're not supporting that bad behavior. And I've like with the way Jessie has been presenting herself after her divorce, I feel like of course it makes sense that Taylor and Jessie are kind of like the two peas in the pod right now. But yeah, like I said, Macy has stepped in the chat a little bit, and I think Taylor has unfollowed Macy, so it's a whole mess. And I hope they pick this all up on camera, honestly.
No, that's the real tea. Like I want to see it all play out, and like obviously we're seeing the text and everything, but I want to see them like reacting to it. Like, oh my gosh, do you see what just happened? Like I will eat that up, you guys. So I hope that they were able to get this into it, because I'm pretty sure when all this happened, rumors were that they were back in production and everything. So I'm hoping we get some live reactions to all of this drama and everything. But like Kennedy said, just to like piggyback off of her, it really is telling who is friends now, or like who is like closer now than ever before. Just with the way everybody's acting and everything. Yeah, mom talk is, I feel like every season they go like, I don't know if mom talk will survive this. Yeah, y'all, I don't think mom talk's surviving this. I think mom talk is done.
I agree, and low key, I might be sat for the OC just to see how it goes, but I digress. And now we're gonna get into what we've been watching, and we haven't been watching much because one show has taken over our lives, and that is Off Campus. Oh my gosh. You guys, little background. I read the books like when I first got into my reading journey. This is when I discovered Steph Bower. If you guys remember her back in the booktube, or not booktube, but like the early book talk days, she's the one who introduced me to this freaking Off Campus series. And for it to be like, what, like 6 years later now at this point, and we have these characters like in our faces like a full TV show is actually insane.
When I tell you guys, I binged this whole show start to finish in like one day. Not one sitting because I was packing, but I did finish it in one day, and it was so good, you guys. Like I told Jill that she has to watch it, so I get to rewatch it. It was so good. I was looking at my Goodreads, and I never finished this book. I got like 60% through. I don't know why. I guess I just got like, I don't know, something happened where I just didn't finish the book. So I don't remember like much from the books when I read it, but you guys, it was so good. It was so good. I ate it up, and it was just everything. It was everything I needed after Summer I Turned Pretty. Like I truly feel like nothing has come to like that like romance show, vibe of the Summer I Turned Pretty. Like nothing has matched that for me since the Summer I Turned Pretty, but I fear that this is like right up there. If not low key, some scenes I was kicking my feet, you guys. Lady Gaga scene, if you know, you know. It was so good, and I love the way they filmed it, kind of like in a sense of like similar to Heated Rivalry, where we have like obviously the main couple that we're focusing on, but then we get little like tids and bits where we're getting fed about this like these side characters, and then we get one episode where we focus on the side characters. I love that, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was eating up more Allie and Dean storyline than Hannah and Garrett's storyline at one point. Like it was just so good. I loved it. The songs, I loved the 80s songs and everything that they played. It was just so good, you guys. Like the edits, they are editing right now.
Yes, when I read the books, like after I finished all of them, I was like, yep, Dean and Allie, they're my favorite couple. So just to like see them and their story start in season 1 is amazing, which like others, for someone who has read the books, like it just makes sense because they overlap, obviously. And I don't know, I just really love it. And I saw this TikTok that was like, they loved how Off Campus truly like treats this as like an ensemble show, because like a lot of like book series, like they are ensemble, but like they kind of like separate it too much. So I love how they're like, no, we're embracing this. It may be like technically four different couple stories, but they all like, intertwine with each other. So I love to see that they actually, held that up. I think if you're gonna adapt a like series like that, this is how you do it. Like Off Campus nailed it. And honestly, I didn't have many expectations going into the show, but they exceeded everything. I mean, the chemistry between Hannah and Garrett, it was just insane. And I love how it was Garrett that fell first. And like low-key, I forgot it was like a fake dating trope, but it being fake dating, yep, check, love it. And then the fact that he fell first, chef's kiss. And I also love how like, even though this is like a romance show, there's spicy scenes and stuff, I love how it also like dealt with like, real life topics as well, because it gives like the show a little bit of depth to it. And yeah, I don't know, I just think everything was perfect. Like these characters are more perfect than I could even imagine while reading. And I think they did all the characters justice. I think they did the story justice. I truly have no complaint about the show. My only little thing, I could have done without all the singing, but that is like a personal thing because I don't really like singing and stuff like that. I like it's even like kind of hard for me still sometimes to like watch musicals. Like I only like the basic ones, Wicked and Chicago. So yeah, musicals are still iffy for me. So I could have done without all the singing. When Hannah was singing, I was on my phone. But other than that, like I loved it. And I mean, Amazon Prime does not play when it comes to these spicy romance shows. And I think I need to date a hockey guy now.
No, because Kennedy is like speaking facts. The singing part, I skipped through. Like, especially on the last episode where I was like, okay, this song has nothing to do with Garrett, or at least I feel like it didn't. I just skipped through. I was skipping through the songs. It was a little bit too much. Yellow Haze, I think, was the best one. But other than that, it was no Julian the Phantom's music, But yeah, I loved it. And with the ending of season 1, I know that the next season 2, it's already confirmed, but it's going to be about what's his name? John Logan. And with the way it ended, I am so excited. If you know about what I'm talking about. So I feel like we're going to be fed a little bit about it. And then by the time season 3 comes out, it's going to be like the chemistry, the tension. It's going to be so, so good, you guys. So yeah, I just know at this point, I can always trust Amazon Prime because I will eat up, even if it's cringy, even if it's not, I will eat it up. Any romance show, movie that they put out, Amazon Prime, I know I can trust them.
Yes, and I think legit my favorite scene might have been when Dean and Allie were, y'all already know J-Lo. Like that scene, I was like enamored while watching that. Like literally, like I just felt the tension. Like I was left breathless. And there's another scene that I liked, but I can't say that on the internet. I can't say it on the internet, but just know that it opened my eyes.
All I have to say is the J-Lo scene, I sent Kennedy and Kelsey a TikTok where I was like, when is it my turn to have this? Yeah, because I was kicking my feet watching that scene. It was so good, you guys. They did their thing with that scene. That was my favorite one of the whole show.
And my last little tidbit is I'm so excited that they're already like getting back to filming very, very soon for season 2. I'm like, I need to somehow make it to Vancouver so I can just like, sneakily walk past that or something. But I'm so excited that we're not having that big, long gap in between seasons. And yeah, like, I don't know when they finished up press, but like, I know once they finish it, they're going right back to Vancouver. And I'm super excited about that. And then my last little thing, I started The Pitt because I was like, I feel empty inside and I feel like I just need something completely different than this show because if I try to watch another romance show, I'm not going to like it because it's not going to live up to what I just watched. So I finally started The Pitt season 2, which I'm really liking. In low-key, I'm like only like 2 episodes in. Why do I feel like it's like more graphic than the first one? I'm like, whoa. Like I have to like get used to this graphicness again, but I'm really liking it so far.
And with that, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into Song of the Week. And my Song of the Week is Gracie Abrams. Oh my gosh. And my song of the week is Gracie Abrams just dropped her single for her new album, and it is called Hit the Wall. I absolutely love this song. I love Gracie. You guys know that. And this song so far is perfection, and I'm so excited for her new album. But dare I say, I feel like it's criminal that she dropped this and the new album doesn't come out until July, and we're currently in May. That is, I feel like, diabolical for her to do. But here is like one of my favorite parts in her new song. And it's called Hit the Wall. I don't know if I said that. I don't know, you guys. Like, I just love the way Gracie Abrams' voice sounds. Say less.
That's actually so funny that's your favorite of the week, because I literally just listened to that song for the first time in the car today, and I added it to the playlist, and I really like it. And then my song of the week is Starstruck by Lady Gaga, Space Cowboy, and Flo Rida. And I mean, Alex Earl introduced me to this song because she used it in a TikTok. I'm like, wait, hey, I like this. So the beginning part is like my favorite part of the song.
Slam, work it back, filter that, baby, bump that track.
Like, come on now. Like, you can't not have fun while listening to this song.
And with that, you guys are gonna go ahead and get into the topic of our episode, which is another just yapping, ranting session with you guys. And it is what's next? What is next in this new stage of our lives? A little summary if you didn't know, which I feel like everybody knows at this point, unless you guys just really don't be listening to us. But Kennedy just graduated from her master's program, and I just graduated from flight attendant training. So we're both entering new journeys, new paths, new adventures, and everything. We're like out of that college, like routine and everything. So we're just going to catch you guys up. We're just going to talk about what's next, if we even know what's next, and just kind of talk about that. So yeah, without further ado, you guys, another yapping session with your favorite people, Liz and KT.
Exactly. I don't even know where to start, but thank you, Liz, for that great introduction. I just graduated. I'm like making it sound so professional. I'm like, thank you for that introduction as if we're presenting, but I just graduated. Duh. How many times am I going to say that? I have been, my full-time job has been applying to jobs. And again, like, they weren't joking when they said the job market is trash. I've been applying since January, and I have applied to over 50 jobs, and I've only heard back for one so far, but like, I'm kind of like disappointed because, okay, well, I don't want to say like, make it sound like a big thing, because all it is I'm going to have a screening call, 15 minutes. So it's not like it's an interview or anything like that, but I guess it's just so they can like fill me out, I guess, and then I can fill them out, because an important thing they taught us in my undergrad was like, as much as it's as them interviewing you, you're also in a way kind of interviewing them as well, because it's like, you like, do you want to work there? And like, they want to see like, oh, do we want them to work there? So I'm trying to like keep that in mind as well. And again, it's not anything set in stone, but there's like 2 cities. Well, at first it was like 3 cities. Well, okay, it was a couple, but I kind of dwindled down on like, okay, this is where I really need to focus so I can see like the most applications. But there are 2 cities that I've sent like the most applications to. But at a point I was doing, it was like a couple, 3, and then one of the 3, once I heard back from a job that's in that city, I was like, oh wait, I actually like don't want to live there. Like, I don't think I would be happy there. And it is a city in Kentucky. Don't get it twisted, I still love New York City. But it is a city in Kentucky, and I'm like, I don't want to live there. And so, I don't know. I just really hope like they're like, oh, we don't want her. And I'm like, oh, I don't like them. So like, I don't hear back, because I mean, if they're like the only job I hear back from, like, what is a girl supposed to do? But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that's kind of like my boat right now, just getting ghosted by a bunch of jobs. Or I feel like a lot of jobs are like in the process of like reviewing things, so it's like, who knows when I'll really hear back from them. I remember I was talking to this girl in my grad program, and she was like, yeah, I applied to like my job, and like I didn't hear back from them until like 3 months. So it's like, it's truly like, I don't know. It's crazy how like when you're applying to jobs, they say like, oh, you need to be so professional, this, and this. Yet jobs can ghost you. They can wait 3 months to reach out to you. I'm like, do y'all expect us to just be like waiting, like on our hands and knees, just waiting for y'all to apply to us? Not apply, reply to us. Like, that's insane. But yeah, there's 2 cities. You guys, I've really been trying this thing of like keeping things close to the chest. So I won't be staying until things happen. But yeah, there's 2 cities. One ends with the E and one ends with the K. And I'm hoping to live there. Liz is like, and so yeah, I'm just hoping to live in one of those. And if like my plan, here's my plan. Hopefully, or this is one version of a plan I have is, build my career in this city and then eventually move to the other one at like 25 or something, get my money up, travel. I don't have a preference for remote jobs or in person, but I feel like in person would probably be best. But at the same time, I'm like remote, I can travel the world, like as long as like I have my computer and Wi-Fi, like it's good. I don't know. I still every day I'm like coming up with new things that I want, I guess. And yeah, so that's like in terms of like jobs and applying. I'll stick with that topic for now. I'll let Liz talk about her job and stuff first.
I have two comments about Kennedy's. First, it really does feel like I feel like you're like dating these like companies, like are they gonna respond? Are they gonna ghost you? When are they gonna respond? Do you like them? Do they like you? Like if it feels like you're like embarking a new relationship with them. And second, I am thinking so hard, you guys, because why like Kennedy, like whatever she's speaking right now is also news to me. Like I'm trying to think of cities that end with a K in Kentucky. I'm like thinking of the big cities and none of them end with a K. So I don't have no clue what city it is. If you guys were watching on YouTube, you saw my look of confusion. After we finish recording, I'm going to look up a map of Kentucky and look at every single city until I find which one ends with a K. Yeah, those are my two thoughts on Kennedy's.
I will say, the city that ends with a K is not in Kentucky.
Okay,
I would jumble my words.
I was gonna say because I was like Louisville, Richmond, Bowling Green. I was like, what is she going to like the middle of nowhere? I was so confused and concerned for a second, you guys. And for me, you guys, job wise, as you guys know, I'm starting a new job. Literally, you guys, as we're recording this, my first day is tomorrow. So tomorrow I have like kind of like an orientation, like in my base in Chicago here and everything. But I am like actually like literally starting a new job, which is also like, I mean, I know that I'm ready. Like I know the stuff. I know that I know it, but it's also so nerve-wracking at the same time. I'm like, I literally FaceTime with my friends and I was like, okay, like, does this look right? Is my like work phone like updated correctly? Like, I'm so scared about like little things and I feel like I'm overthinking things like that, but I guess it's like a good, like nervous, like not like a scary nervous. I mean, it is a little scary low key, but yeah, so I'm literally starting a new job, which is actually insane. Trust you guys, next episode I will come with all the updates because by the time we record that episode I should have worked my first like flight and everything. So I will come with all the updates. I'm going to keep a little notes thing on my phone so I don't forget a single thing for you guys. But that's where I'm at, just like job wise. And yeah, that's all I have job wise because the other things I have are going to be like more social. But it's just like actually beyond insane that I'm like, I've been training for this for 6 weeks and like now I'm like actually here. Like I'm literally gonna start it. This is real life. That this isn't training anymore. I don't have like my little instructors anymore, which is just like, it's just so crazy to think about, you guys. I think I'm more like in a state right now of just like pure awe and also like a little bit of like I'm feeling all the emotions, but like in a good way.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I feel like I've said this before, but it feels like Elizabeth's training just went by so quick. I'm like, I can't believe my friend is literally about to be a flight attendant and will like just be like jet setting everywhere. And just like who knows where Liz will be. And like let's say she gets like a freaking like 48-hour layover or something and she just has all this free time to like travel these places. Like I'm gonna be sat for all the content.
I think it's gonna be like I feel like I say this often of like, it's my sign. This is my sign to like start like recording and like editing. KT side-eyeing me right now, but maybe this is my sign, and watch me say that in like a year from now, you guys. But anyways,
yes, and then let's go into the social aspect because I feel like adulthood, I mean, just like the places you can go, the people you can meet, and I feel like for a lot of people that's very like overwhelming, but at least for me in this moment, that really excites me. And especially I kind of talked about this in like a graduation vlog, but with kind of like my core group of friends being kind of like split up, I'm like, well, I still need to like be social in my everyday life, if that makes sense. So I'm like excited to like branch out, hopefully whenever that time comes, however that may come about, and like meet new people, experience new things with new people, and just, make new friends. And whether that's through like social media or like my workplace, I'm just like really excited about that because if you guys are not new listeners here, you guys will know that like me and friendships, that has been very complicated, but I feel like I've talked about this before, like my senior year and like my graduate program have really showed me, plus anxiety meds, that like, oh, like um interacting with people does not have to be scary, and like once, like if you just be yourself and show up authentically, you can actually find like things in common with people that you would never even think, and like you guys actually get along so well. So like the prospect of that is like really exciting, and I'm just excited too to like finally kind of like, once I make money and get PTO and all that stuff, to like travel and stuff, and just thinking about like all the new memories I can make while traveling as well sounds really nice. I'm excited for like the prospect, that's not the right word, but just like the time when it comes for me to like move out and make my own apartment, like, and have it be cozy and all that stuff. I'm excited for that as well. And potentially dating. Well, not potentially. I'm going to eventually have to put myself out there if I want a man, but I had this realization recently that like, for some reason in my mind, it's like easier to like put myself out there in terms of friendship. But like, if it comes to like dating, I'm like, no, 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 no. When literally it's like the same thing, except like it's romantic feelings. It's more of an intimate relationship. But like, I don't know, friendships is just like such lower stakes to me than like dealing with a man. So whenever that time comes, you guys will hear all about it. But I'm just truly, I will say, more excited about getting my money up, the prospect of all the places I can travel, and just like all the new people I will meet.
And then similar to Kennedy, I'm in a new city right now. Like I'm literally in Chicago. I literally know like one person here, Jill, and then I know like obviously like a few people that I did like training with, but I'm also like I feel like I'm in a point where I'm meeting completely new people. I'm going to be meeting new people like when I'm working like basically every trip, just like a new crew and everything. So I think I'm like at a point to just like put myself out there socially and like meet new people and just like branch out and just explore and things like that, because I'm literally like in a point where it's like I need to, like, if I don't, how am I gonna meet people, like I can't just cling on to Jill the whole time. But yeah, so I'm at the point where I need to like branch out, meet people, be more social, and I feel like it's honestly like it's a good point, and it's kind of like a little bit nerving, but a little bit like the good. I feel like honestly overall with everything in my like what's next part, I feel like I have like good nerves about it. And also like socially, I do have me and Jill, we made a little summer bucket list of like different things to do, different activities, just like obviously like not staying indoor and just like watch Netflix. Like every now and then, it is good to rot, but like we're literally like in the city. Like it's time to like go out and explore and do things. And on there we did put go on a date or something. So I literally, you guys, I got into Chicago and like I got into her car. First thing she said was, "So Hinge." I said, "Oh my gosh, not too soon, too soon, too soon." But yeah, so hopefully I like Kennedy, she said, like it's easier to make friends, and then when you put that like relationship thing on there, it just becomes like so scary. But yeah, I need to do something. And I feel like me and Kennedy in our like 2026 goals or like end of the year recap, like things going into 2026, we said in some way, you guys, we will be putting ourselves out there. And we both said, don't ask us how, don't ask us when, we just know it's happening. And I feel like this is us like following up with that, and in some way it's happening.
Well, now my end of the bargain, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that will be completed, but if that works for you, Elizabeth, you can be the one to bring it all to the podcast.
You guys, not her backing out live when she literally just said, and when she was talking about relationships and putting herself out there, and then she wants to back out. That would, yeah, y'all clock her in the comments down below, because someone needs to clock her. It can't just be me.
You guys, listen. I told you guys dating is so scary to me, but if you guys know anyone that, is tall, just tall, send them to my Instagram.
And I do want to say, I literally, you guys, in our little hometown, I spotted someone that I was like, oh my gosh, Kennedy would so think that he's cute. He's a waiter at a restaurant. And I told her she needs to go eat at the restaurant. Even if she doesn't say anything, she needs to go eat at the restaurant. So you guys, comment down below pushing her to go eat at this restaurant. I don't think she's ever been to this restaurant. And he works on Fridays for sure. And I thought he was cute from a distance. And Kennedy and me's type is kind of like similar in this sense. So yeah, she needs to go. Even if she's just watching, she needs to go.
If you guys know any guys that look like the main four boys in Off Campus, send them my way. But on the topic of friendships real quick, I what kind of like sparked kind of my feelings or whatever is I was listening to a Mel Robbins podcast that actually just came out this month, like literally 2 weeks ago, and it's called The Reality of Adult Friendship. Here's why you're lonely and how to make real friends as an adult. Some of the stuff I couldn't necessarily like connect to, but there was some certain points I was like, wow, I really like this is like really motivating when it comes to like making new friends, because it was basically like a lot of people tend to like always want new friends and they feel like really lonely a lot of the times. So like it kind of makes like kind of putting yourself out there for new friends and stuff less scary, because like it is true, like even if we do have like our core group of friends, it's still like, you know, I don't know, like where was I going with that? You can still have your core group of friends, but like they're not there all the time is where I'm going with.
Yes, that's such a good point, especially like in like adulting. I feel like I've listened to this episode actually of Mel Robbins or something similar episode where she brings this up about how like you're at that point where you've graduated, you've been with these people literally every single day, or like even if you didn't go to the same school, you've had like same lifestyle, same like routines kind of in a different way. And now you're at this point where everybody's doing different things, different schedules, and a lot of times you're living in different places too. So it's like you have your core people and you're always going to have your core people, but you're at that point where like you have to like branch out, because like if you don't, you're literally gonna have no one on a day-to-day. And like as a human, like we crave that like that social ability, I guess, like that like connection and everything. So if like we don't have that on a day-to-day, that's like detrimental to us overall. At least that's how like I take it. So it really is like, and it's that point where like, and the thing is though, it's scary in a way, but like everybody in this like stage is in that like same boat. You might be doing different things, but everybody is also going through that. So I think that that's also like refreshing in a sense, you know, and I feel like it makes it easier kind of to go up and approach people and talk to people and like make those new connections and friendships and all that.
I agree. And they kind of like touched about that in a podcast in this podcast episode. But yeah, I definitely have listened to like some older podcasts where she kind of has had the same themes of friendship and making adult friendships. So like definitely y'all go to Mel Robbins and literally just type in adult friendships and it'll make you feel like a lot better. Cause I know I'm gonna plug my Substack. So I posted something and I clickbaited the title to make it seem more dramatic as it is, but like I felt guilty for like wanting to make more friends and branching out. But I realized like no, it's because we as humans we crave community, like Elizabeth said. And so I kind of like talked about that in that article and how, you know, you will always have those ride or dies, but like again, like Liz said, like as humans we need those everyday interactions and stuff like that. So if you ever are feeling those type of feelings, which is like normal, I would say, I hope it's normal, go listen to those podcast episodes, because I feel like those helped ease my feelings.
You guys, once again, link down below is Kennedy's Substack. I haven't checked it out yet, but like I'm going to after this episode, because you know I feel like sometimes you just gotta like read something, and this is like the perfect like ranting read. So just comment down below. It's linked down below, you guys.
Me like, oh Lord, my writing skills.
And then I feel like I say this often with like everything, but I feel like I need to reaffirm it so I actually do it. But another like what's next for me, just like with all of everything, I would say it's just stepping outside of my comfort zone and challenging myself in different ways, which one of those ways, primarily the way I see it, is like the relationship setting, but also just like in everything, just like approaching people more, or like, and I feel like someone once told me this, how when you're meeting new people, they don't know like anything about you, you know, like they don't know if you're an introvert, they don't know if you're an extrovert. So like you can change like that up and like become a little extroverted in that situation while you're like approaching these people and talking to people, because at the end of the day, these people know nothing about you, or like, so don't like necessarily like what you know about yourself like dictate how you act around people. Like if you are more introverted, like I typically am, don't let that like be like the defining characteristic of how you interact with like new people, because they don't know that about you. So I feel like that's just something to like keep in the back of your mind sometimes when like you're in this new stage of like meeting new people and doing that kind of thing. At least that's something that like I'll be keeping in the back of my mind at times.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, especially as someone who has always been like, yes, like I'm so shy, I'm this and this, which like to an extent, yes, but at the same time, you kind of have to like break away from those like beliefs you have, because it's like, are you really though? Or have people just told you that and you just kind of like ran with that, you know what I mean? And that has just kind of been what you like molded in. And like, I am an introvert to my heart. Yes, I still get shy and stuff, but like, I've had to realize that like, oh, like maybe I'm not as shy or whatever as I thought. And that has definitely helped with like different situations. And my last thing, I want to really be on my health and fitness grind. And this in my new adulthood, I want to like start taking Pilates classes on the regular, really going on my hot girl walks, and really doing a lot of like strength training to really just get my bones good so they're not brittle when I'm old. And yeah, I just really want to get snatched and feeling my best and just eating good, healthy, nutritious meals, but like not eating like a horse or something, like rabbit food. But yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. Just like getting better at like cooking and just like eating better and moving my body more.
Rabbit food was really funny. I don't know why. I feel like I've never heard someone describe it that way. But yeah, I'm glad Kenny said that, because literally me and Jill, we were literally talking about this, how we're holding each other accountable, like walks. Like if one of us is feeling lazy, no, we're forcing the other one to get up and go on a walk, hot girl walks, like meal prepping, like, you know, like just eating healthier. And like I feel like in our like at this point, like in our like early 20s, which is low key, we're getting that like mid 20s, which is kind of crazy to think about, but that's for another topic. But in these early 20s, we're at that point where like we really need to like, what we put into our body now is like we're going to appreciate this when we're like our parents' age and everything. So I feel like if we build these like habits and routines now, like now is the time to really build those routines, because we're starting that point where like we're setting the routine for the rest of our lives low key, which is crazy to think about. But like if we don't like set in those healthy habits and like taking care of our body, like fueling it, like nurturing it and all that stuff, then like when we're like 60 and everything, we're gonna be like, what the heck was I doing in my 20s that messed me up, you know? So I think it is really important to like really focus on your body, and just like taking care of it, because at the end of the day, this is the body that's like gonna get us through everything. So that is a good point, because I'm locking in, you guys. Also, I'm you guys, my uniform was fit for me right now, so it better be fit for me for a little bit longer. So yeah, we're locking in, you guys. And yeah, you guys, that is all of our little what's next. Just kind of like a little catch up with you guys, more in depth from our little life update section that we normally do. Make sure if you guys made it this far in the episode, comment down below what's next for you. I don't know if there's like something you're looking forward to, if there's a big life change, comment it down below. We want to like know what's also going on with you guys, because you guys, this is a safe little space. We have our little community, so let's nurture this little community that we have. And with that, you guys, make sure you're following us on all of our socials. As always, they are linked down below. Subscribe, follow, like, comment. You guys know the drill. So like, what are you doing? And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. And you guys, side note, this is episode 99. That is actually insane. This is the last double digit episode of the Girls Lounge podcast, like literally ever. That is so crazy to think about, you guys. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week for the big 100. Bye.
Bye.